Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jem. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Leger.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Leger?
Miss, and I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl. But I had the good sense not to get caught. Word of advice, kid, don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office? The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept. Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. This is the place. Holy hell! Are you all right, mister? Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
I've just arrived today, but this isn't the time for formalities. There's an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact, no obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right, he's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Mrs.
Leger. Miss. And it was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Come in. Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger. Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please, take a load off. Whiskey? A bit early for me, but thanks all the same. Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. I don't believe so, no. Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're gonna join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you. Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Bretagne, got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good. Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be. But maybe you'll find it to your liking. There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train. Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. I haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the toffs in Leon, hilarious. That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually. Oh? What brought that about? I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo. Oh, no, it was before that. The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But, you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample. And I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities. Fantastic! So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth? Oh, no, nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman. Who? Pull the other one. Have you been living under a rock? He's a true Western legend, the Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample, acerbic and mordant, but maybe not quite so acerbic. So, a puff piece. Good. You're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town. Where can I find this Jake fellow? He's taken rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road, and his show is opening today at the Opera House, so he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office. I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work. Longhand! How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask. Any insight you can give me about the town? It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but, I don't know. The folk who moved on took some of the charm with them. What about the folks who stayed behind? What about them? They must be pretty stalwart to stick around when others didn't. Or stubborn. Go on and meet him for yourself. Best draw your own conclusions. So, who is the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope. Ha! Oh God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought I could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but, well, it didn't go that way. I see. The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo? It was only the biggest story that year. I've still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself. Can I keep this? Frame it if you like. I'd best be on my way. Right you are. Wait a minute. What? It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley. Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that. I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath. I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life. Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational. Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it. Of course. And please, call me Joni. That's quite a stick. A memento from me grandfather back in County Donegal. Comes in handy now and again. I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive. I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze. Fascinating device, isn't it just? To think I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever. What will they think of next? The New Bretagne Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition? Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper. Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post? Yup. March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of my life. See you later, Joni. Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all? Impressive piece of machinery. Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Leger.
Why's that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. It was so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on, convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west or shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
Been working here long, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly after launching the paper. Was a farmhand before that. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow pens, let me tell you.
Anything I should know about the townsfolk?
Can't really help you there. I'm just a simple family man, and we keep to ourselves.
Exactly who was that gentleman just took a tumble out your second-story window?
I haven't a clue. Devil of a fella. Just busted in here and went straight for Joni's office. He wouldn't be put off, but insisted on speaking with the editor immediately. Said he intended to lodge a complaint. Suppose Joni didn't take too kindly to his manner of lodging.
Those are some mighty fine whiskers you've got.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Leger. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but I'm fond of the look.
As you should be. I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, ma'am.
Cozy.
Hello again, Miss Leger. I'm pleased to say your friend should make a full recovery.
He's not my friend. He just fell out the window and almost crushed me.
I see. Well, it was good of you to come get me. Plenty of folks around here would have turned a blind eye. I realize in all the commotion we weren't properly introduced. I'm Dr. Sedgwick.
Guess the sign wasn't lying then. I'm Harley.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Mind if I have a look around?
Not at all.
Medical College of Wicks? Never heard of it.
It's in central Rotterdam. Not quite the University of New Bretagne, but then what is?
Well, that's just disgusting.
Not disgusting, it's fascinating, awe-inspiring.
To each his own. He doesn't look half bad, all things considered.
No, he was lucky. Once I'm done here and the laudanum wears off, he should be right as rain.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I wouldn't try talking to him just now, Miss Leger. I gave him a mild narcotic to numb the pain. He'll be out of sorts for a while.
That's impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
So, how's the medicine business?
What a question. I'm a physician, Miss Leger, not some two-bit snake oil salesman.
Didn't mean to imply you were.
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not had many patients of late. This poor soul is the only one this week. But that is the physician's dilemma, is it not? We are taught that idleness is a sin. But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill and infirm.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will, I know where I stand on the matter.
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Who is this tribe?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them, just that they have a small village somewhere in the valley. I believe they call themselves the Audam? Autumn? I'm not certain of the pronunciation. At any rate, they don't come to the town, and I imagine the townsfolk mostly let them be as well.
You must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices. But if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
For 20 coppers, it had better be one hell of a show. Never heard of this one. Betrayal, murder, revenge, classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life. This place is falling apart, but these stone tiles were nice. Once. Dr. Bennett Clark, Master of Ethericity. Oh, right, the Ethericity fellow. I didn't know he was working out here. Locked. This thing's heavier than it looks. Bet I could do some real damage with it. Shabby, but I've been to worse. Wonder if the whiskey here is any better than the rock gut back in Pierre. Looks like it's been up for ages. Wonder if they ever caught the guy. Or maybe he retired from crime. Or died of old age. Warning, watch the dang door. Signed, management. Food delivery for the lazy. Now that is mighty tempting. Excuse me, kid, I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay. Look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about it, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, it's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't want to miss a second of it.
You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the ether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
Nah, but your little friend might think twice about hoodwinking strangers again.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
Your brother? And you just strolled away? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
If this Lola stole from you, why not report it to the sheriff?
Oh, come on. I thought you was sharp. That lazy tyrant would cuff my brother and me soon as look at us. It's just the two of us. Me and him against the world. We got no one else to turn to. So, will you help us out?
You can go hang for all I care. But I want in this theater. So I'll do it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement. Too bad I didn't bring my lockpicks. Or a hammer. I could easily smash this rotten bit of wood and get the lock off, but I'd better wait until the coast is clear. I could easily... That did it. Tile's no good anymore, though. Seems the obvious place to keep valuables. Just worthless trinkets. Nothing here. Absolutely nothing. Well now, what have we here? Got what I came for. Best not to stick around.
What in the ether is going on here?
You must be Lola Johnson.
That's right, Lola Johnson, who lives here.
You live here, do you? Technically, I think the word you're looking for is squatting.
And technically, what you're doing is trespassing.
I'll be going.
You do that.
Fancy. Too bad there doesn't seem to be a pawn shop in town.